Welcome to the Fear Fiction Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
Chelsea, what is largely your opinion on AI art?
If it's done ethically, I don't give a shit.
And what would be an ethical way of going about it?
Maybe not including people's HIPAA breaking X-rays in the pool of things that can be drawn from.
I had not even considered that. Interesting.
Yeah.
So Chelsea and I have made a note of not talking about this specifically so we could get a live reaction. And she mentioned that HIPAA breaking X-rays, and I'm like, how did that end up on the internet in such a way that it could be scooped up by an AI art? Wouldn't that be secure in some way? But I guess not.
So not only is the art itself HIPAA breaking, but whomever put that out really broke HIPAA too. Holy shit. I did not know that was happening. Holy hell.
Yeah, that's been a big concern with people who are kind of against it. And it's if you could make an AI that doesn't reference those kinds of images, I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the companies making these AIs don't give a shit about that.
No, it's as I understand it, it's just kind of scraping from any available public image or any image publicly available, I should say.
And that does bring up the question in my mind, and I know that this is a much larger talking point, but the question is for the longest time, the internet has been a repository of images, and there's been times when you can scoop up an image and not give credit, and it's really douchey. But if you use a meme image of a surprised Pikachu face, you're not really doing copyright infringement. You're taking an intellectual property of Pikachu from the Pokemon Company, throwing it up there, and just using it as a glyph to react to something.
I mean, you're using it as an image that conveys a meaning that we all kind of have context for.
Yeah, and so
we all understand the context of, this person's using surprise Pikachu, that means this.
As a lot of internet lawyers will say, memes are illegal, but there's really no way to control that at this point. If someone wants to make an image of your property a meme, there's little you can do because there's not enough time or resources to track them all down and issue cease and desists.
And the question becomes, and I'm sure that this is something that you've also heard too, is the idea of laws are laws if they're enforceable, and they're not laws if they're not enforceable. So the laws have not caught up to the internet age whatsoever, and we're all aware of this. So the question is do we want to police people using meme images? And if you're using these images as memes, is the AI scooping those up and using those all too different from that? It's that on steroids, but
I mean, the problem is, though, that AI isn't just referencing memes, and it's not just referencing stock images.
Yeah.
It's referencing anything that's fed into its algorithm, and the DeviantArt thing, where DeviantArt was trying to make its own AI based off of all content that was uploaded by artists who have been using DeviantArt.
Yeah.
And they wanted to make it so that you couldn't opt out of it.
So, yeah, the question for me would be is there a way to have people opt out of it? Would that even be a feasible thing? And if it's... I mean,
enough people got mad that DeviantArt was okay, we're backing off. If you want to opt out, you can, but you have to go through all of your artwork and tag it as you are opting out, because we're automatically going to opt you in if you don't.
I fully believe that you can, because these generative programs are absolutely they're made by a person and they have certain parameters, and AI assisted programming is quickly becoming ubiquitous, not, just for art or, art generation things. I use it in my job in a law firm all the time, and it's very finely tailored to do a certain thing. So as Chelsea was saying earlier, like these platforms that are setting up these things don't give two shits about what the parameters are, as long as they're like as broad and wide as possible. I fully believe someone could make something that only has an opt-in or only searches certain things. But I just don't think, they're not in trouble enough to start doing that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay. I see what you're saying. I was thinking of it from the perspective of like, let's say, I know that DeviantArt was doing that kind of stuff, but what if DeviantArt said, specifically put some sort of barrier, just hear me out, some sort of firewall that kept the AIs from scooping up images from DeviantArt or from like ArtStation or whatever it is. Like anything posted to this site can't get scooped up. But what you're saying is if the AI generators themselves have an ability to be aware enough of rights holders to not use certain things, that if they get in enough trouble, they'll be forced to program in something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I'm not a programmer, so I don't know how difficult that would be, but I think having your site have a defense against a bot would be the much more difficult option, simply because like if you post something to DeviantArt, like on your DeviantArt
you
profile,
can pull it off of DeviantArt. Yeah.
Well, but what if someone puts it on Twitter? What if someone puts it somewhere else? Like, what if, if a bot, you could train a bot on Google Images, and that would cover every conceivable site in the world. So you would need literally every site to have this same firewall. Whereas if the platform that does this scraping just sets its parameters, then that makes a lot more sense. Again, not a programmer, so I don't know how you would go about this, but surely there's a way to, put in parameters that are not just scoop up everything available on the internet. It's a very broad thing.
And, I think that there's a lot of angles to discuss this from, but I want to get y'all's opinions on this, especially Chelsea. Do you think that AI art is inevitable?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm already using AI-assisted stuff in my job. It's going to be a part of every industry, if not a part of most industry these days.
I mean, I think it's impossible at this point to avoid things that are automated.
Automation is everywhere. And,
yes,
and
it's
I know
everywhere. It's taking over a bunch of different aspects of life. And I think AI art is certainly automating certain aspects.
It's not there yet, but it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah, no. But I don't think it's actually artificial intelligence.
No, it's not.
So like one thing I have an issue with is calling it AI, because it's not actually, it can't, sure, it pulls from, I forget where I was going with this.
I understand what you're saying, because like it's more of a tool. It's almost like an art generating tool, an amalgamation tool, because it's not actually.
It's a visual prompt generator.
Correct.
At this point, I don't think it's going to actually overtake. It's going to be a very long time before it actually takes over creative aspects, I think.
Like what we. I forget what like the more correct name for it is. It's not artificial intelligence.
GANs.
It's not.
No.
I think it's called GANs. Like neural network. Like the whole thing is it's like playing A/B. Like which one is more accurate? Which one is more accurate over and over again, a million times a second.
It's a set of logic questions that you can set up.
If then.
Yeah. And I think that I think there is a healthy fear of AI in general. We all learned that from Terminator 2. But so the discussion, I think, shouldn't really be like, what's it doing now? It's more like, well, what is it capable of in the future? But we're not in the future, and we have no idea what that's going to look like, and what AI, not just like art, but music, stories. Having the product is not great. It's not a substitute yet. It might be a substitute for some things, but
very situational, and not in a way that I legitimately think it's taking like money out of artists' hands necessarily. And if it is, it's something that I would pay $1 for,
and no artist would accept $1 to do a fully rendered piece of artwork, you know?
Well, here's the kind of question. We have Chelsea, who takes commissions, who does work, who has put in the effort and the years and the training to learn her set of visual art skills. Chelsea, do you feel that you're displaced, and if eventually you know the AI art, the tools will get there to where you can be replaced, are you going to be upset about that when that happens 5, 10, 50 years from now?
I mean, I think that there is a certain level of skill where AI art can replace that level of skill. And like, if you are only relying on skill level, I think those kind of artists are a little in trouble.
That's my opinion. Thank you for saying my opinion, Chelsea.
However, let me finish my thought, because once I lose my thought, it's gone. However,
why'd you send us that story about the motherfuckers of the
shut up. I need to finish this thought. However, human beings desire context and stories, and at this point, at this level, there isn't really a way of replacing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think there's a way of replacing cultural context or cultural story notes. There's not a good way of doing that. So, like, I think if you are a creative who relies on storytelling, then you're fine. And once AI gets to a place where it can replace that, we have other issues to think about.
Yeah. Well, AI is not capable of nuance.
Right.
And AI, like, the crazy thing about, like, if you generate AI art, like, you get 10 different, like, you know, options. But at no point currently can you be like, okay, we'll fix the hands there. They look kind of bad, because that's just not how the system's set up. An artist can do that relatively quickly because they made all the assets, right?
Right. And it's like, you know, if you want to change the background or you want to change a certain layer, like, artists can do that.
Mm-hmm.
AI can't.
I think that's going to be fixed. I think that is one of the things that's going to be fixed relatively quickly, honestly, because like we already have things in art programs like Content Aware, and all it's going to take is just another thing to be like, hey, we need you to use human anatomy, okay, buddy? We don't need to be 11 fingers or 6 fingers or whatever. Like, I think it will figure that out way quicker than people are expecting. And I do love that meme of the iRobot where it's like, the AI can't draw hands, and then the robot responds, "Can you draw hands?"
And then it's just Will Smith, and he has 11 fingers.
Yes, correct.
I did see someone point out it's ironic that everyone criticizes AI for having bad hands. Well, show me an artist that was just good at drawing hands in the first place, and where does it draw that from? All AI art is drawn from other people's drawings. So, you know.
Well,
I mean, there are some artists that are incredibly good at hands.
Mostly lesbian
but they
artists,
are
because lesbian artists, because hands are the genitals of lesbians.
Are all hand models just lesbians?
Yeah, it's correct, including males. But what I would say is Chelsea was talking about how storytellers are going to be better off in the future. I think that that's true of Chelsea because she thinks about these things in terms of like comics and stuff like that, and that's where her interest is. I think
it's also symbolism. I think
it's symbolism.
Yes.
I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot broader than that, because yes, the AI is going to be able to generate the images. It's going to be a lot more about novelty. And we already see that, like, one of the programs is called Novel AI. Mm-hmm. I think what is going to become of value isn't your technical ability, but how interesting and novel the concept is. And something being novel is really hard to explain, but that's what is going to hold our attention the most. And that's where the highest art is. And if you look throughout history, you know, you would have artist workshops where it's like, hey, let's go to Rubens' workshop. And it's not just Rubens who is painting there. Rubens is a painter, but he's also a philosopher, and he has an entire workshop. And I don't know if you know this, but the way that like those big giant Renaissance paintings would work, they weren't painted by one person most of the time. What would happen is Rubens has the workshop. People would come in, paint the beginning of the painting, and he would show up for the final touches with the most expensive materials to finish off the paintings.
Right.
And he's overseeing the whole project. He's almost like a director of a painting, because we don't have movie directors. The painting is the movie in those times. So you have to get a movie's worth of entertainment value out of one painting. So you have to have Christ on a hill with a staff, and his foot has is like stab, like holding down a snake so he can stab it, and he also has like there's fire in the back. Like all of these things are symbols that were understood in their time to have a larger context. And now that's moving a lot quicker, obviously, because of the internet and TikTok culture and stuff like that. The nature of that has changed. But whenever you see a meme like that, like the AI can draw hands, can't draw hands, can you meme? Like that makes us laugh because it's really novel and it's an interesting idea. So that's what's going to be of value. And I think that getting rid of the technical skill isn't going to just... I think a lot of people are upset by that, but they don't bring anything else to the table besides fan art, frankly.
I mean, sorry, go ahead, Chelsea.
I was just going to say it kind of reminds me of video games in a way, actually. Like how video game studios keep trying for like the most realistic graphics, but like at the end of the day, it's going to end up not being the most realistic graphics that are memorable.
Because it's so out of touch with what people actually want.
Yeah.
If you look at, like, I know the Game Awards is kind of like a giant meme, but like everything people were talking about, they were talking about Stray, a game where you're playing as a cat. Oh. They were talking about God of War, where you're a naked Viking, hitting people. They weren't talking about Call of Duty
45, yeah.
And it's not that that's a bad product or I'm shitting on people for liking that. I'm just saying that's not the same, that doesn't have the same tooth and doesn't have the same cultural significance.
And I forgot what year it was, but like that Goose game where you just fuck with people.
Untitled Goose Game.
That took over then, and it cost a fraction of any AAA studio product. And that's what people wanted.
And I played that with Chelsea, and frankly, I was bored, but that's kind of irrelevant because the game itself, I wasn't too interested. The idea of the game, though, like it stuck in my mind. Like I was thinking about it constantly. So you can't say that that's not valuable, even though I didn't play it. It was stuck in my mind. Like I'm like, it's hilarious.
Like the concept of it and the art style of it, both fantastic.
Oh, yes, for sure. And I'm sure other people enjoyed the gameplay. I just personally couldn't get into it. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's great when you're like super bored and at a family reunion. That's how I feel about the gameplay in that.
So I think that, it is also kind of like a relaxing game.
It's soothing.
And I'm not big on like soothing games. Like I like action. That's what soothes me. But I think we can all kind of come to this conclusion that like, I think a lot of these people are like concerned with this taking away their jobs and not really thinking about how it's going to empower people to do art. And I think that there's like almost like a weird level of jealousy from certain artists.
Kind of elitism.
I can understand some of the concerns people are raising about it.
I'm going to stop you right there. I think we can all understand there are plenty of concerns, and I'm sure when Slimebeast gets here, I just don't want to repeat a bunch of talking points, but like we're going to have a different conversation with him. But like there are so many concerns. I'm not. Yes. Yeah.
I saw someone.
Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say, Chelsea?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Abysmii, what were you going to say?
I saw someone say like, at most what this is probably going to do is, do what technology did to, for example, the food industry. Yeah, there's a lot of mass-produced, automated, mechanically churned out crap. Has that eliminated gourmet, fancy, indie, hipster cuisine? Hell no. And in fact, it's in very high demand and sought after. So yes, there is a legitimate fear of like, this is probably, being an artist is already difficult if you want to make that your living. Absolutely. But technology really hasn't been the biggest hindrance to artists. It's the industry. It's the other humans in the industry fucking people over, especially like in the music industry.
Yeah. No, it's like the cultural treatment of artists that fuck artists over more than anything else. Like, compare like how artists were treated in like the 1910s to how artists are treated now. It's a very different kind of cultural treatment.
Well, what I would also say on that is, speaking of artists and will it make life harder for artists now that have to compete with AI art? Well, the AI is going to get better and the AI is going to be more customizable. So you're talking about, you have your McDonald's versus gourmet burger shacks or whatever. Mm-hmm. The gourmet burger shacks are still using the same efficiency techniques that McDonald's invented. They're just modifying them and upscaling them for like a fancier experience. Mm-hmm. So I think that you're going to see the same thing. The tools are going to be better, but the question is, who's going to be able to use those tools? And the answer is the artists who are already skilled, who already know how to do these things, who know their way around these things. Yeah. And I don't think the retraining is going to be all that difficult. It's just going to be a new tool in the tool belt. And whoever's going to exceed at that. Like, I think that the traditionalist conservative opinion of like illustrators need to, be able to work this way is going to go out. And time is money. So if these tools make the artist more efficient, then that's only going to be good for the artist.
Every time a technological advancement has happened as in relation to an art form, there is always that reaction of this is going to negatively affect artists. And the thing that always happens is the people who continue to thrive or exist in that space adapt. Mm-hmm. Every single time. I don't care who you are. That's what you have to do.
It's like the introduction of the sewing machine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, there was fear over the idea of like photographs being introduced as a medium. It's like, well, painters are going to be out of a job. And people, as soon as I say that, will come up with a million reasons why it's not analogous, even though it's 100% analogous, and they're being foolish. But you know what happened when photographs came along? Paintings went two different directions. All of a sudden now, paintings could get more impressionistic, more colorful, more out there, because the photograph is a I know it's not a representation of real life, but it's a closer analogous version of real life. So paintings got more abstracted, and also photographs acted as reference to make paintings even more realistic. And that's where we saw the advent of hyperrealism. So I think a lot of people are just being very short-sighted, seeing what AI art is doing now, and also seeing what scumbags are doing with AI art right now, and not thinking past the initial boom and bust of these scumbags, because these scumbags are not going to stick around. I promise you.
Well, and
they'll stick around, but they're not going to be as significant as they are right now.
I think a lot about the history of music with this, because that's another industry where the artist is.
But Abysmii, it's totally different.
It's not analogous. Like when electronic music came about, there was that, really, really knee-jerk reaction of people who physically played their instruments. And then when it got big, they were like, oh no, now we're the little guy and we're totally going to get shit on. And yeah, like that electronic music is more in vogue than rock or classical or whatever. Number one, those other genres have not gone away. They have become smaller, but they still exist. You can still practice in them. And shit, dude, how many fucking like basic white bitches on Instagram are playing ukulele covers of rap songs and getting, tons of, again, you have to adapt. And this bemoaning of my thing isn't the biggest thing anymore. You and everyone else, man, that's just how this happens. You have to understand that what you do, just because it's popular, does not mean it's going to be popular forever.
And so, music engineering has gotten way more advanced now, and you can do things that are just unbelievably orgasmic to the ear.
And ironically, sorry, I just want to say this one thing: AI produced music is dog shit.
It is really
terrible.
It's
like
hilarious.
Anyone really afraid of being replaced by an AI bot, you should be more afraid of just the people putting some things in Splice. Like you can make entire songs from Splice database samples. And that's a whole nother question of if two people make the same song, but all they've done is thrown a bunch of samples they didn't make, but they licensed together, which one actually made the song? Like that's a whole other thing. You should be much more afraid of stock assets than you should be of AI art right now.
Well, what I was going to say on the whole music thing is now there's so much more understanding of what you can do with music and music theory that is accessible, not just because of access to the internet, but because of these music developing programs. You can really figure out hey, this low end on this song is really empty. I'm going to remix it, and all I'm going to do is just drop some stuff on the low end to fill out that area. And I'm going to drop a few things up in the front, just floating up there. And like, it's just, it's such a more surrounding experience, an encompassing experience that like songs are just, you can just go back and remix them and they're just so much better.
That's literally where remixing came from. As we understand it, remixing these days is actually like, it's more transformative. It's using the stems and doing different things with them. Back in the day, it was, I'm remixing this so the EQ is different because it sounds better on my hi-fi that way. And like, that's, no one complains about that anymore.
Well, and then there's, I think that there's also this element of, oh my God, I was trailing off. What was I going to say? It was in relation to, I'm turning into Chelsea. I'm losing my points.
I'm rubbing off on you.
I'm rubbing you off. I mean, what?
Oh, I know what I was going to say. But like, you know, on the subject of like taking something wholesale, it's weird to me that artists are very obsessed with like, oh, and you know, people who are friends with artists and defending of artists and like anti-AI art. It's very weird to me that they're saying like, yeah, I don't want people's rights infringed, when it's like, okay, but you understand that like you're in the English speaking world and there are people who will take images from artists, upload them and pretend to be them just by using non-English parts of the internet and gain clout and gain money that way and put it onto backpacks and sell it on Amazon and stuff like this. Like the piracy is harder to catch there, but like, it's weird to me that you're obsessed with this thing when this thing could potentially benefit you and you're just like missing all of the things that it can do for you.
Yeah, no, totally.
Is there any like other overarching points that you have, Chelsea, before we end this and then move on to a discussion with Slimebeast, who is asleep, presumably under a pizza?
I feel like I had like 2 other points, but I can't remember what they were.
If you do remember them, drop them in the Skype and we can bring them up in the other discussion. And we'll say Chelsea also brings up blank.
I do know that there was an artist that I was following a couple years ago who died. And I guess their artwork has been fed into an AI machine and it's been very questionable. Because like this is someone who is now dead, whose family has taken over their estate.
Right.
So it's like, and it's like, it's a recent death. So it feels really icky for that to be like immediately fed into AI by a company.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to save some of the other things I was going to say for like ickiness, but there's like, there's a lot of icky things that people are doing. And I think that people are blaming the tool rather than just blaming a scumbag or a group of scumbags who are doing this stuff.
I mean, I wonder how much of that though is just like companies not getting the blame that they should be getting in other aspects.
I think there's definitely a media skew because I do see the people protesting this in the same breath, blaming, you know, the mechanism and the company behind it. But for, you know, because of our limited fucking attention spans now, the headlines are just like artists hate AI art, when the two are kind of like inextricably linked. And they are saying, we really do not like the fact that some dude set up a program to do this. And then the conversation becomes, well, the program is the problem. Well, the program was made by somebody and it's being used. You take that away, this entirely dissipates. But the conversation really is not, I think it's just being skewed a little bit because, there's a bad actor behind the program. The program itself is inert if no one's using it.
Right. I mean, I feel like a lot of the ickiness comes from the way companies are promoting or using these things. Mm-hmm. Because there are companies using these. There are companies pushing these. And I feel like we're just not us, but like us as like humans. Everybody humans on the internet right now are not talking about, oh, hey, the concern should be the company and the way they're presenting this issue.
Well, I think what we're going to see is that companies, I'm talking more generally, like let's say that you have freelance artists that work for a company and they're trying to produce something and their mindset is, hey, that internet AI thing is just going to be able to make it for us. They're going to hop onto that, fire some people, and then very quickly hire them back when they realize the AI is not doing what they think it will. And like
Right.
it will get there in the future that the AI will do that. I don't think that those jobs are ever going to go away because graphic designers are still going to be in supply. And I think that, we can look at other fields where jobs are getting automated away. I work at Big Place, and I'm not going to say what it is that I do at Big Place because I work for Big Place that does big thing. I do a job that people thought could be automated away, and I thought could be automated away. And then Chelsea was like, hey, why don't you apply for a job at Big Place? And I'm like, okay, but isn't job automated away? Turns out, no, not even remotely.
I mean, it's one of those things, though, where I also work at a big place where they assume they could automate my job, but due to the way humans require communication, my job will never be automated.
And same thing on my job. Like, it's been a real awakening of just like, oh, automation is here and it's not great yet. Automation requires human intervention at this moment. It's like working at a factory. The factory is, doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but it would not function without humans at the factory. You don't have fully autonomous factories cranking stuff out. There needs to be people on the assembly line.
And then, like the most that's done, yes, it has cut down the amount of people working in that factory, but that does not mean that humanity has been replaced for factory working. Maybe one day it will get there, but for the foreseeable future, no. There's just too many things that, like you said, need human input. I do this in my job all the time. Like, I convinced my firm to, hey, we should get this cloud-based AI-assisted, neural network-assisted programming because literally, everything's digital now and there's more data than you can ever possibly conceive. This computer's going to do the heavy lifting, but it can't do shit without me telling it the very nuanced facts of the case. And there's no replacement for a human in that, regard, at least not yet.
Yeah, legally, in the field of legal stuff, I'm sure that that's a pie in the sky hope that you're just going to have an automated court system. And then at that point, you just get Minority Report.
Oh, no.
Well, it's a funny thing because they keep, like, a lot of people kept saying, like, lawyers, the computer's just going to replace most of their staff and stuff. And I'm like, dude, first of all, law is so behind the times on technology. They are the last to adopt it. From the courts down to the law office, they are so goddamn slow on it. So no, I'm never going to have that fucking fear.
I mean, there are so many jobs and so many like realms of jobs where it's just so slow to integrate technology. Like, I know someone who works for the state, and it's just like their integration of technology. They were still doing like paperwork that should have been digitalized like a year ago. Like if and like that's not just the state and the government. That's true for other areas as
100%,
well.
Yeah.
So I think what we're ultimately saying is that the robots are coming for your jobs. They're just walking very slowly, and in the meantime, you're probably safe. And if you see a scumbag, call out a scumbag, but maybe not the tool. I think it's perfectly fair for, we brought up the idea of like, maybe these companies need to implement some sort of way of detecting whether something is a go for using up and scooping and trawling or not. I think that it's perfectly fair for us to say like, hey, let's call out the scumbags, and also companies making these AI bots, please implement something like this, demand this, protest this. That I think is cool. But it's coming one way or the other.
Unlike a bot, use your nuance when discussing these things.
I mean, something I was thinking about that I want to bring out before I leave because I'm really hungry. Blaming, like, it's a lot like the oh my god, how do I phrase this? I'm so sorry, guys.
No problem.
This is an Elias problem.
This is an Elias problem. It reminds me of like the litter campaign in a lot of ways. Like, you have to throw away your straws and you have to cut up your 6-packs.
Correct.
Yeah.
While it's the company that is making the majority of pollution.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, the program is the straw in this case. Like, it's the company that is producing, like, they're trying to find ways to use this in ways that will get them multiple yachts.
To completely deflect any responsibility when 99% of the blame rests squarely on them.
Yeah, and like I think people need to remember that like companies need to be held accountable in multiple realms of life at this point. And
totally
like,
agree.
It just kind of feels like, you know, the news and the media and like advertising avoids saying those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's again, the media has been very skewed over it.
Yeah, it has been for decades.
I've definitely seen on Twitter people get a lot more outraged about AI art. And, you know, you mentioned nuance and using our brains to actually like talk about this in a nuanced way. I think people have gotten a lot more, like lost a lot of their nuance, because when it's, you know, these AI art things came out at first, people were, you know, kind of on the fence about it, maybe a little bit more positive, but there was definitely the skepticism. It's gotten way worse. People are just like very much so against any concept. And it's like, you need to be a part of a productive conversation because it's not going away. We need to have the productive conversation now, not later, you know?
Yeah. Like, you need to have the nuanced conversation immediately as opposed to later. But also, Twitter is not the place for nuanced, like, conversation in any fashion, I think.
Sure, but from people that I would otherwise think are reasonable have gotten kind of irrational about this. And that's kind of like the upsetting thing to me is just like, you know, there's plenty of people who are irrational on Twitter, and I usually mute them if they're just annoying or whatever. But it's like people that would otherwise have a nuanced opinion are losing it. And I think they're being a little bit manipulated.
It's very easy for people to get caught up on this in the context of Twitter and just forget that they need to be a little bit more,
it's
calm.
It's turning into South Park. They took our gerbs.
It really
I mean,
is.
also it could be that they've never had a position that has been challenged by automation before.
True.
So they might not have. They might not have the context of human nuance cannot be automated.
Well, all three of us gave our nuance on that of just like, yeah, our jobs aren't getting automated away.
It literally
were. Yeah. There was an attempt, and that attempt failed spectacularly.
It turned like it's funny because the company I use with this neural network assistance, like they have fleets of people employed to explain the software to me when I encounter something I don't know. So like not only it's employed kept in employment two different sets of humans, the people who make and run it and the people who use it. It's actually been a boon for employment.
Right.
So I think that's the underpinning of this conversation is just it's going to be a tool, and eventually once the tools get better, they're going to stop being for hobbyists and much more be so for professional artists. The writing tools, we're already getting writing tools that are doing that thing like Grammarly and whatnot, helping out writers.
Been around for how long now?
For how long? Augmenting how writers write. These tools are just going to be assistants, and it's not going to be that easy to automate away. So I think, nuanced conversation, and hopefully we'll talk, I'm going to try and be as antagonistic to Slimebeast as possible.
Oh, I'm sad. I'm going to miss that.
Because I think he's the most pro AI art of all of us.
I think he's used it the most out of all of us.
He's definitely used it the most. I think we're going to, this conversation we came out of it, I think we're all pretty pro AI art. There's a lot of concerns. I'm going to try and bring up more of those around. But yeah.
No, I think technology as a tool to assist people is a good thing. And you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater when it comes to these discussions.
And the only thing you can do is throw out the bathwater, and the bathwater is the scumbags who are entering art contests with AI art without telling people. And it's like, you know what you're doing, and you're a douche.
Look, throw out your gamer girl bathwater, but don't throw out the gamer girl, okay?
Okay.
That was the sound of Brandon opening his veins.
Cannibalistic. What would that term be? Like a vampire that eats itself.
Auto-vampirism.
Auto-vampirism. Oh, where all my auto-vampiricists at?
All my auto-vamps.
Auto-vamps.
Auto-vamp sounds like a machine that Abysmii would buy to hook up to his synth.
Yeah.
I have to get an auto-vamp, and I have to... My name's Abysmii. How you doing? I gotta get an auto vamp for my
Okay, auto vamp sounds like a cool guitar pedal. Just saying.
Yeah. All right.
Well, no, that's where you get your repair parts for your Dragula. You have to go to the auto vamp shop.
Step into the vamp. Auto vamp.
Auto vamp.
Okay.
What you have O'Reilly's, which is the Irish equivalent to
leprechauns.
Yeah, the Irish equivalent of the auto parts store. What would the Irish rival be to auto vamps?
O'Reilly's? I don't know. Rising from the dead? I don't know.
Sure.
O'Reilly's auto parts.
So stupid.
We're gonna resurrect your car.
Yeah. Is your car suffering from vampirism? I don't know. Fucking. Hey everybody, I'm tired. Welcome.
And
tired.
And oh, I'm sorry. This is like improv. Yes, and a sea captain. Yar.
Wait, you're straight beard?
I'm a sea captain who's tired all the time. But yeah, sleepy beard.
Sleepy beard. Yeah, that's a good one.
His beard is like pillow shaped.
He's got the little cap on, the little sleeping cap.
You guys sing a sea shanty and as I drift off to sleep. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And his gimmick is he always says that as I drift off to sleep, and then just goes overboard.
Yeah. As I drift off.
And then the next episode, he shows up again and does the same thing. It's like Kenny getting killed.
Yep, exactly.
They never explain how he gets back onto the ship.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a show where we just are all different pirates with all different premises, and each premise plays out exactly the same every episode.
Listen, that is Pirates of the Caribbean. You were describing Pirates of the Caribbean.
My name's Captain Jack Sparrow, and I don't like gay people. What?
What is he?
My name's
like Ringo Starr.
Hi, how you doing?
You know, it is really funny because if you watch those movies, you can tell that he was getting abused. I don't know if you guys have noticed this.
You could tell he was getting abused, you said?
Yeah, that Johnny Depp was getting abused in real life. You can tell this because like there's like so many scenes where a irate woman throws bottles of liquor at Jack Sparrow. So it's
if you look closely, you can see Amber Heard in the background of most scenes.
Yeah, they had to like CGI out Amber Heard and come up with a reason that some other woman threw a bottle at him. She was just on set doing it. All right, take just blur tool her out. I don't know what the fuck they do. Drop in some random.
Can we just get? Can we get a body double for that scene and just put a Jamaican pirate lady in there for diversity?
Oh my god, that explains that time that they went into that like cantina or whatever the fuck they have in pirate lands, and he ducked that bottle and it panned over and it was Jar Jar Binks. That explains it. They just dropped him in like an asset.
We saw pirates.
Jar Jar Binks.
You fucked me and left.
Jar Jar Binks, Amber Heard. Oh, that's
Amber Binks. I love it.
Double Photoshop Jar Jar Binks' head onto Amber Heard in all those elevator scenes, those elevator photos.
Double go on Midjourney and put in these prompts and see what you get.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Speaking of Midjourney.
Hey.
Speaking of Midjourney, oh my god, we have to. One of you guys have to go and get a AI art of that exact thing for the thumbnail because that's just incredible.
Yeah.
We could do that. My other idea was one of you artists draws art that looks like AI generated art, but it wasn't AI generated, and then we put it in there. And everyone says, but you used it in your thumbnail. And we can say, no, made by a human.
Mm-hmm.
But
do we have a ban on using AI art in our thumbnails now?
No. I just think it'd be funny if, like, someone out there is going to get heated up in the comments and, like, say, oh, look at your AI generated art in your thumbnail. And we can be like, no, made by a human. You can't tell the difference. Just as, like, a goof.
It'll turn out that the comment is from a bot set up by somebody who wanted to push the agenda of anti-AI.
Well, what
my bot does is my bot comes up with original comments against AI by using a variety of comments on the internet as a source for what to say. Well, wait a minute. I fucking hate AI. I'm going to take it down with my AI.
The AI guy's got no talent.
Yeah. I walked RoboCop up on stage. Who the fuck are you?
I saw RoboCop shoot a guy's dick off. Who are you?
My bot, my choice.
Oh, fuck.
No, but I think, yeah. So, what is your general opinion on AI art?
Okay. This is one of those things where, is this a turning point? Is this a crossroads where for the next 10 years I'm going to get called anti-LGBTQ because I said something about like,
Derek,
this is one of those points where I'm not sure if is it too hot a take to be in support of AI? I don't know. Like,
let's preface this. So, number one, this is a topic that is evolving and ongoing. So, no one here, despite whatever expertise or experience they have, is the last word on this shit. By the time this episode's come out, this conversation will probably be dated.
Yeah. And by the way, I know I said LGBTQ, but that's a guy I know. What up? My name's LGBTQ. Sorry, go ahead.
So there's that. Like if you want to contribute to the discussion on this, keep a level head, please. There's enough stupid vitriol going back and forth already.
Yeah. Put your opinion in your donation message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. Contribute to our super chat, which we don't have.
So I am in support of AI in certain aspects. Like, not in like the Skynet aspect. Not in like,
I don't think anyone is in the Skynet aspect.
It's a toy, essentially, to a certain degree. It's going to be used for like content generation by, like content mills, and it's going to shit up a lot of stuff. But what are you going to do? Are you going to stop it? First of all, you wouldn't be able to stop the ascension. I'm a little sick, everybody, so give me a fucking break.
So what I'm hearing, listen,
the LGBTQ are ascending.
What I am hearing is that you support 3D printing guns.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because when
and keeping it off the record,
when everybody has a gun, nobody else does. Sorry, good.
When everybody has guns that will jam, everybody will have guns that will jam.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Everybody's going to 3D print a gun. And then everybody's going to be like, well, how do you 3D print a bullet? And they'll be like, oh, well. And they'll just throw it in the trash,
That's how that works. So what you're saying is we need to legalize 3D printing guns, make that completely illegal, completely legal. Don't let anybody fuck with that. But then make it illegal to have bullets. That's what you're saying. That's your plan.
Well, how do you 3D print gunpowder?
You pay someone in China to mine the gunpowder. I don't know where gunpowder comes from.
You 3D print a Chinese person.
Somebody's just like, look, I automated this entire factory with AI robots. Isn't that fantastic? And they're like, yeah, no, it's a great leap forward in technology. Why'd you make all of them Asian?
First thing I thought of. I don't know. When I think of factories, I don't know.
This happens.
I 3D printed this Asian person. Oh, it's a girl. All right, let's start again.
Oh, God.
China has a problem, folks. It's real.
Oh, no, it's a Uyghur. Never mind. Delete.
Grabs you by lapels, shakes you. It's real, audience.
I know it's got COVID. Lock it up.
Oh, God. Why did you 3D print COVID into your 3D print?
That's how it happened. They 3D printed COVID in Wuhan.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to open the door for the fucking goddamn cat. So, what were we talking about? AI?
Yeah.
I'm in support of artistic use of AI in the same way, like artists will, have you ever fucking seen these fuckers that are like, taking someone else's artwork and not plagiarizing it or stealing it, but they'll do something like they'll, paint like a black censored bar over the eyes and be like, this is my artwork now. I'm a street artist. Like that type of shit where it's like, here's this famous painting, but I put a gun in her hand. Now it's a commentary about America. It's like, this is the way art has always been, is just taking shit and remixing it and fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of the arguments against AI art are recycled arguments against other artists.
Crypto,
from
exactly.
From everything, from like everything that comes before it. And it's in their mind novel but this is a machine. This is artificial, and it's not artificial intelligence, first of all. And so a lot of those can kind of be dispensed with of like, we've already addressed this. If you really have a problem with it, then how come you haven't been like, getting up in arms with everything else that happens all the time? Stock photos, they are, literally taking money away from you and your commissions because they exist. Are you going to fight that? Probably not. But I think there are like legitimate arguments against it as far as potential of certain things happening. Some of those are in the future and it haven't happened yet, and they may not happen, and we don't know. But there is, I think it's a rational fear to think like, well, this is going to put artists out of business. Probably.
Artists are already going out of business.
Well, I know, like, and it's all
because it's like, please commission me, please.
It's I think, like any technological advancement, it's going to put some people out of business, and those who stay around will adapt, or they will just be niche enough that you can't get it out of an AI bot thing. And I mean, that just happens with everything in fucking the economy.
And the thing is, too, in terms of like stealing work from artists and everything, I get that to a certain extent. But I think if you're willing to use AI to get an image that you're going to use for something, I don't think you're someone who would have commissioned it. Like,
absolutely.
In almost all cases, I'm sure there are some times when that'll happen. But it's like I subscribed to Midjourney for like a month just to, fuck around with it. And I generated probably 1,000 images.
Right.
And I'm not going to buy 1,000 $25 commissions from somebody. So that's not
you couldn't now.
I'm going to spend $25,000 on art commissions. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough.
And none of it was anything I would have commissioned. It was all just to see, what it would do, and then I would get an idea of, I wonder what this would look like. I wonder what that would look like. This character that I've had an idea for, I wonder what that would look like. But it's not a character I would have commissioned. I would never have said, now here, I need this specific image of this character I thought of once for something randomly in the past that I have no use for now.
I would have not asked for a commission, a $70 commission for Amber Heard as Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly it. That's a good point. That's like legitimately a good thing is we just came up with some stupid meme thing.
Yeah.
If we generated that, that's not something we would have ever commissioned. Yeah.
Well, and I've seen
except from Double, and he does it for free. So again,
he does it for free. Yes.
I've seen examples of
Double is always doing it for free.
Yep.
Heyo. Someone put out a children's book, like fully illustrated.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those,
and a lot of people got angry about it. And that could have been commissioned. Yes, I guess the question is, did it need to be? It would
never have been commissioned because the gimmick is that it's an AI children's book.
Yeah, number one, you
can't commission that because you're doing AI specifically to get the press of doing an AI book.
Well, I've used 2 AI art platforms, and one I just made like silly little things to make like GIFs on Twitter back when I was on Twitter, like stuff that it was literally just me just playing around with it. Midjourney, I've done 2 prompts so far, and one was purely experimental. I might use something from it, I might not. Anything I use because of the terms of service for Midjourney, like I don't own that, and I don't pretend that I do. And someone else can use it, whatever. The second thing I did, I am going to use. And I specifically made that because I cannot reliably find people who make stuff in the art style that I was looking for. It's a dated art style. It's like from the 70s and 60s. And a lot of the kind of just the qualities of it are kind of lost because of just how art has progressed. So literally, that was something I did because I cannot find it anywhere else. I would never have commissioned that. If I knew someone, I fucking would, but I can't. So there you go.
I will say one thing I don't think is very kosher about the AI shit in terms of artwork and stuff. I think if you're going to, and this is just like a personal moral thing, it's not like anything, I think it should be enforced or whatever. But speaking, personally, I think if you're going to give a prompt where you say in the style of, and then a living artist's name who takes commissions,
yeah,
commission the actual artist. Don't put can I get this in the style of Trevor Henderson, and then like actually use that for something? Just see if you can get Trevor Henderson to do it. Like.
Well, and this is something we discussed earlier. Like to throw out AI art entirely is kind of stupid and also not going to happen. But definitely, and this just comes with time. The people making these platforms, they probably need some regulation on them. They probably need to modify their parameters to not just scrape everything everywhere on the internet. As Chelsea previously brought up, somebody sourced somebody's X-rays. That's a HIPAA violation. That's an invasion of privacy. That's not okay. You can't do that.
How did they get them to source?
Well, that was a question. Like, what dumbass's doctor's office put it up on the fucking internet? But does that excuse the theft? No, it doesn't. But maybe and I'm not a programmer, but definitely the people who make these platforms and these neural networks, there is some responsibility on them to be a bit more ethical about this. When that's going to come through, who the fuck knows? We have a lot of pending cases right now, but we'll see.
And I think the ethics involved in that are going to have to be something to be debated constantly. It's just going to be a huge new issue that we haven't had previously, really.
And that's why I think the future is an AI president.
The future is a female bot.
The future is female and bot. Mm-hmm. The future is fembot.
So as I was saying, there is a case in front of the federal courts right now where somebody on purpose submitted a piece of AI generated art to basically get it in front of the courts and have the courts look at this, make determinations, see if it needs to be passed on to the legislature, which is great. But the irony is, so the reason they did this is because the Copyright Office, the U.S. Copyright Office, said we will not copyright anything that is AI generated because it is not made by a human, and that just in their interpretation that falls in line with the U.S. code. The irony is, if the plaintiff did not tell them it was AI art, they would not have known, because the Copyright Office is not sophisticated enough, and it's hard to tell what is AI art if you don't know and if it's not in the metadata. But that's kind of there to test and stress test the legal system, and from that will, I'm guessing it'll probably go to the Supreme Court, and then people will be able to weigh in from all over the country essentially on what their stances are, and that will be very interesting.
Now, can't people trademark like genomes and shit like that?
Yes.
They didn't make those though.
Those
were not made by a human. Those were made by God himself.
God.
The God.
Well, not with genome splicing.
With Jesus splicing.
Oh, well, so they're splicing shit and then trademarking that.
So, and the same dude who's suing,
like from the cinematic film Splice.
Absolutely, yes. The best.
From the cinematic movie, from the cinematic powerhouse Genome, about the man who creates a gnome.
Calls him G.
The AI art. I need a urban hip hop gnome from urban 90s hip-hop. Retro.
All right. This is how you do it. You put lawn gnome, period. Hip hop, period. Swag, period. It's like,
yeah.
It's a
drip.
Yeah.
Period.
The same dude who is suing over the copyright thing also was suing for a patent they made for their AI generative platform. And again, this is a good thing. This needs to go to court. So, because otherwise it would just sit there and everyone would yell at each other over Twitter and then the courts would not do anything.
Can I just, this may be too hot a take, but I feel like there's a lot of pushback against crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you can come up with all these reasons that crypto is no good and, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of reasons that a lot of shit ain't good. There's a big push against crypto. There's a huge push against NFTs. And there's a huge push against like AI art now, things like that. Maybe not as big as the NFT push because that's, cringe. But my question is this going to all end up in a situation where like the bros and maybe the more right-leaning people are going to be like the technologically minded people, and then there's going to be a group of people who are against all of that who sort of become like the Luddites and are like I don't believe in this technology shit. Is it reversing from where the Republican guy on his porch with a shotgun didn't trust technology to like somebody with like a wheatgrass smoothie. You know,
It's like
they're reclaimed, repainted.
I need to write on a typewriter, because if I write on a laptop, the man's going to have my AI generated words and take it.
Right. Yeah. Is this all switching to where instead of I ain't trusting no, Illuminati computer to, AI is actually, very problematic for the environment, and like this is all switching.
It may be in by a vocal minority, but I'm going to say no because
the vocal minority. Batman, I have a right to a voice. Fuck you.
Oh my God! And Batman is a rich white man. Yeah. Oh boy. No matter like what side you're on in. Oh, what is it?
My bat platform. No.
The platform.
The platform.
Oh my God! Is Batman Kanye West in this scenario? He's like, Netanyahu.
Yeah. Wait, God. He's Kanye West and Elon Musk though.
Batman, why won't you kill the Joker? Listen, everybody brings something to the table, especially the Joker.
Usually bombs, but like no matter where you are on the side of these arguments, technology eventually just gets integrated into everyone's everyday life. When we discussed this with Chelsea Pryor, but I'll bring it up again.
Don't dox her. People don't want to know her full name is Chelsea Pryor. Descendant of Richard Pryor.
Oh no.
You can see the resemblance.
Neural networking computing is part of a shit ton of industry now. And that's what AIs are based off of. AI art, again, it's not artificial intelligence. And so it's just going to go through a period of testing and controversy. And then someone's going to find a particular use for it, and it's going to be scaled down to whatever that use is. And then it's just going to be part of everything. And then no one's really going to complain about it because it's just a facet of life. I use it in my job. A lot of industries use it. Blockchain, which is the source of crypto and all that, this is all still very new. So eventually, it's going to go through the courts, it's going to go through a lot of shit, it's going to go underground, and it's going to be like the fucking Silk Road stuff. And it's going to be, only a certain subset of society is going to use it, and then, whatever, it's a foregone conclusion. So I don't think it's going to happen, just because it's a hot topic right now, and artists, they're in a very saturated, oppressed, because the industry is a piece of shit situation. So it's easy to rally against a target. That being said, as a musician, and there's AI generated music out there, I could give a shit less. I do not feel threatened by it, because it's not going, the worst case scenario is giant fucking studios are going to use this stuff, and it's going to be the same garbage, bland crap they put out that, popcorn munchers go to anyway. Is that really going to replace artists? Maybe in a certain sense, but not entirely. And
then you look at Hollywood, you look at the state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC movies, the two only forms of cinema that matter.
Yep.
And you say to yourself, are humans even doing that good a job? And AI at least might be like, and then Spider-Man shot Mary Jane, and you're like, well, that's a twist. Okay, sure. Fuck. All right. Let's see where this goes. I don't know.
That's definitely my feeling.
Oh, she's back with no explanation. Okay. Sorry, again.
There's plenty of stories out there that we've read that were written by humans that were boring, or just were really lacking something, but the AI has consistently written something compelling. And Abysmii, you say you're not challenged by this AI generated music. What about when the AI generated music does get good? Are you going to feel threatened at that point? Or are you just going to adapt and use it?
God, good question. So the process for music, I think it's different from art, paintings and all that.
Yeah, music's not art, but yeah,
it's not art at all. It's fucking bullshit. But music, the fun.
Could you imagine the Beatles saying something like that after a few years?
Yes, absolutely.
Music's not really art.
Not really.
He's
I'm
kind
kind
of
of bored with it.
We just kind of go up there and we go, yeah, and it's whatever.
I'm just getting through a show so I can go to the pub. Like that's all I'm gonna do.
It's all just a fucking gig.
Like for AI art is fun because it is just throwing in prompts, but it's also like I'm not good at art. I'm not good at physical art. So that's something I can use as like a layman. Music, the fun is arranging and recording things and experimenting with sound design. So the most I would use AI art for is like, I don't even know, because it's just not a thing I want to do. It's if it is a tool for me, it would automate something that would be very, very barely structural. That's it. Like I'm a sound designer and a musician. That's what I do for fun. I don't feel threatened by someone typing in a prompt and going, make cinematic sting number 54. Because frankly, anyone and their goddamn mother can make that nowadays with technology. That's not AI generated. Anyone can goddamn do it. I brought this up previously, and this is the last I'll say on this question, is there's a sound library website called Splice. Incredibly popular. Millions
like the
and
hit
millions.
Cinematic masterpiece.
Absolutely.
Splice.
Same studio. No. Every
and
like
she has the penis in that one too, right?
Oh, she has two actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
She splices them together. Yeah.
The Splice 2. This time there's two penises.
Two penises, one woman. Not how you think. So like Splice, you can get
one's a tail.
What's tail? There's just one in the front and one in the back. It's getting kind of hot. No, the like on Splice, you can get a drum loop, a bass line, a pad, a lead melody, and a vocal loop. And you can literally just make a song from samples that you did not make, but you have licensed royalty free. And there is a question out there, actually, if two people do the same thing on Splice, which one of them made it? Did either of them actually, do they own it? Or is it like, that's just that, again, this is just technology advancing. So that's a bigger threat to a musician, is the fact that there's just stock shit out there. And it's easy for anyone who knows how to put things together in a timeline to make a song that would probably be good enough for some bullshit trailer.
Well, I think the whole thing is you're kind of missing the point here. Is you should be using the AI for work, not pleasure. You should be using it in your legal job.
Okay. I literally use that in eDiscovery. I use AI as or neural network assisted discovery stuff because let me tell you, paying someone to go through 100,000 documents is stupid and inefficient. And having a computer assist you with that is smart. And it did not get, it didn't replace me. I still have a job. In fact, I have more of a job because this is something I have to learn now.
I can't believe you're putting document troglodytes out of business. People paid to rummage around in the archives in the darkness below the earth.
Doc trogs can get fucked, all right?
Doc trogs.
Come at me.
I love how we were both going to the same direction of Doc trogs.
God damn.
All right, so I think is there any other big issues that we can see with AI art that really need to be called out?
I don't think so. I think we're all pretty much on the same page, unless Slimebeast says something else to add.
It's going to eventually just be impossible to tell what's a real photo and what somebody in their room just made using a text prompt, and it's going to be like George W. Bush committing 9/11, and there'll be like a photograph of him doing it, and then that'll go out.
Okay. I have so much to say on this topic.
Oh my God.
That means that we're getting into just an absolutely post-truth world, and that is hilarious to me. I love that. It's going to make people question everything that they know, and that's a good thing.
We're going to revert back to the time before the photograph when we didn't believe anything.
Yeah.
I believed everything, I guess.
There will be a surge in people live streaming them actually making stuff to be like proving, hey, I made this. This is me literally doing it.
Yeah.
Here's me committing 9/11. None of it was real. Here's me on the moon with the Draken.
If I could have two restrictions put on AI art platforms, it would be number one, anything generated
anything over 6 inches. No,
absolutely. Everything generated has to have in its metadata that this was an AI art creation, because then everyone can look and go, oh, okay, cool. Then I think that does a lot. Doesn't solve everything, but it helps a lot. And
well, Abysmii, why don't you just put a little star on it? Fucking Jesus.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Fucking
Like a-
content Nazi over here, restricting the freedom of
You
AI.
get the little Pokemon rarity star on the edge of it. That's a question, Abysmii. Can I copyright a Pokemon deck? Like, I have this order of cards, and this is the strategy, and it's this effective.
I think that wouldn't be only
Yeah.
if you gave it a unique name.
We're looking for a yes or a no here, Abysmii. Come on.
Oh, I want to know something about law. Yes or no? That's real funny. Real cute.
You know what? I cannot wait until we have AI lawyers.
It will be one of the last industries to go, but it will be funny
Mm.
because law is so fucking behind the times on goddamn everything.
Is it legal to copyright a Pokemon deck? You walk into the hut and Mavis says to you, no, fucking, come on.
I like the idea that like law gets to the point where it's just like, oh, do you think I should continue to work on the law and try and automate it? And everybody else is just like, are you going to get back into the Brave New World machine or not?
Come on.
Come on,
Man.
Come on. Come on.
come on.
Yeah.
Down.
Y'all ready to read some AI generated stories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in summary, our thing is AI is a fun toy.
Toy that is good and moral, and we hope it takes all of your jobs because you deserve it.
Yeah.
Get
If-
good or
listen,
get replaced.
If I didn't hear every single fucking artist in the past 30 years on the internet talking about how they can't survive on commissions, then I would be more concerned. But the fact is, none of you were able to live on commissions. Anyway, you're all fucked. Everybody's fucked. I've done things for commissions. I'm fucked. You know, we've always been fucked.
Yeah.
Nobody
Um,
wants our shit.
But the again, a lot of the problems are kind of just more systemic and not really unique to the fact that AI exists.
All right.
So-
So what are we doing?
Can we do Bar Rescue first? I want to do Bar Rescue last episode.
Hell yeah.
All right.
So we're the fans of the Bar Rescue, and I fed AI. Let's have a Bar Rescue lost episode.
Absolutely.
Some
You
of
walk
you might,
into a bar and Mavis says to you, yeah,
some of you might have heard of the show Bar Rescue. It's a reality TV show about improving failing bars across America, hosted by bar expert John Taffer.
this is a
Yeah.
fact. Look it up.
Look it up. God damn. This is literally lost episode, like nomenclature.
Yeah,
One
no,
one.
to a T.
Excellent. It's a formula that's carried the show into 8 seasons.
Whoa, whoa,
and
whoa, whoa. You missed the previous ends.
Taffer is co-known.
Cowan.
Gee, I wonder who wrote the opening paragraph.
Oh, it was a bot. I fed a title generator of just Bar Rescue Lost Episode into a machine to give me the first paragraph to give to the generator.
You're saying that the bot knows to mimic your writing
I
style?
was going to say it's Bar Rescue plus Lost Episode plus dyslexia.
Taffer is Conwyn.
Conwyn.
Conwyn. Taffer is actually Conwyn. I've been Conwyn all along.
Conwyn is totally
Oh,
a
Conwyn.
character from the upcoming Avatar movie, I'm sure.
Can somebody draw Batman? Draw Batman in a dark alleyway, and there's just some like emo teenager on his phone, and Batman is going, Conwyn. That's what the name sounds like. Conwyn, get in the van, sweetheart.
It's like Conan.
Ugh.
Conwyn.
I don't want to get in the van.
Get in the freaking van, John Taffer voice. Taffer is known to fly off the handle and act very angry at the start of episodes, only to show more caring side by the end. It's a formula that's carried them into 8 seasons and 233 episodes. However, if you look up on Wikipedia, you'll only find 232 episodes listed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Moaning in the episode Moaning Taffer. Okay, so 233 episodes in 8 seasons. Abysmii, do the math. How many episodes per season is that?
That would be 29 seasons.
No, 29 episodes per season?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 20. Wait. Yes. No. 29.
Such an odd
episodes
number,
per
isn't it?
season. Whatever. It is weird.
That's
Congratulations, we've renewed you for 29 episodes. What?
Huh? You better wrap up the story in 29 episodes or you're fired.
God, okay. You're at like a panel at Comic-Con, and it's like, yeah, we really wanted to wrap up the show, and if we had that 30th episode of the season, we could have done it, but...
It was supposed to be a two-parter, and we're really sorry for that eternal cliffhanger.
I love that this is completely a lost episode. It's so good.
That's a missing episode, yeah.
That's because of an incident that took place after an episode set in season 4. The episode aired, but was later pulled when what really transpired behind the scenes came to light.
The following is a breakdown of what happened in that episode. Not so okay corral from reliable lost media sources, as well as the behind-the-scene drama that resulted in 7 people's deaths. This is the lost episode of Bar Rescue, the horror behind Bar Rescue. Not so okay corral, the horror behind Bar Rescue.
I'm on to you, Brandon. It's June of 2010. Bar Rescue is running a taping, and 5 folks are getting their shops up and running for the first time. The stars are Patrick Bertelman, John Taffer, and Jamie Kennedy, who is famous for being one of the stars of the movie Scream. Oh, I thought that was a comma.
Patrick Bertelman?
Yeah.
The fuck?
But the night of... God damn it. But the night of June 14th, a mysterious power outage happened that brought the filming to a halt. Many people get sick, including John Taffer, making them almost late to return home. The horror that is Bar Rescue was real. You're right.
Okay.
Like with... Sorry.
Whose turn could it possibly be?
Like with most stories, the first steps often determine whether or not a horror story is real or fiction.
Wait, what?
It's true.
Are we getting into a weird meta-analysis now?
It's true.
Okay.
But with the story that involves horror stories of a horrific nature...
Okay, how long are we going to let this charade continue? I'm too smart for this.
What are you too smart for?
You got no fucking talent.
Brandon, you wrote this and you want to see if you can fool us into thinking an AI wrote it.
No, I wrote the first paragraph.
That's fair.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
For those of you that don't know, the place that Bar Rescue taped was a haunt called Haunted House Asylum. It is... Oh, fuck off. It is owned by one Brandon Arsberg.
Brandon Arsberg, by the way, is Brandon's OnlyFans name. Another clue that he wrote this. His famous catchphrase is it's like an iceberg in my arse.
Haunted House Asylum is what Zach Bagans would name an episode of Ghost Adventures. Oh.
That's what we're going with is straight beard, sleepy beard, and Brandon Arsberg.
Arsberg. There's an Arsberg on the horizon.
Oh, Brandon, put your ass away.
Damn it.
Stop putting your ass out down the line.
I can't put it away. Sleepy beard fell asleep on it.
Oh.
Sipping scissors.
Alcohol.
Sipping scissors? Don't do that. What the fuck?
Scissors is the name of his favorite IPA. It's fine.
I'm just swallowing scissors. How you doing?
The fresh mountain taste of scissors.
Oh.
The fresh mountain taste of scissors.
Can't with this fucking episode.
It used to be a haunted attraction, but after closing down due to a power outage, it turned into What?
That's a good touch.
Just one paragraph. The rest of the fucking sentence.
It turned into an eerie place that is known as a haunted house asylum or Scary Alley.
Scare Alley.
Oh, Scare Alley. Yeah.
It used to be a haunted attraction, but then it turned into a haunted attraction.
Scary Alley, by the way, is like the Creepypasta OC version of Kirstie Alley. And don't worry, everybody, this was recorded before she passed away. It's not in poor taste. Don't think about it.
I like the idea though. That's a very what's a Mystery Shack type thing from Gravity Falls? Is just like,
Oh,
yeah, our power went out. Oh, it's even spookier now. There's no power. Come on,
Come on down.
just come on down. No, she ain't. Come on down to the Haunted House Asylum.
Come on down. We don't got no lights, so just come on down. It's pitch blackness.
Bring BYOL. Bring your own lights.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pitch a story to you real quick, Slimebeast?
Sure.
Is it this one?
No, yeah, it's kind of this one. Like, I like, you know how I've been writing the stories about the pizza guy going from like door to door. I like the idea of a pizza guy going to a door and like opening it up, and it's just a yokel, and it's just your guy, and he's just like, I think you need to come on down here. And you just like look immediately inside the house, and it's just stairs descending down immediately
Just from the front door, yeah.
From the front. It's like a sizable house, but it's just immediately stairs descending down.
And they're like just a little bit too steep, like 45 degrees. Or...
It's just, no, she ain't. Come on down yet. I need you to bring the pizza on in here, just a little bit down here, just down the steps a little bit.
Can you leave it at the bottom of the stairs? Don't step off the stairs.
Don't step off. It just eventually becomes a giant void into nothing. It's like, I think I should...
come on down.
It's like the gif of that kid in the play place that just falls into oblivion.
I haven't seen that. You have to post that.
Oh, fuck. I'll try to find it.
It's just like, no, you need I'm just going to leave this pizza.
Trydeadkidgifts.com. Sorry, again.
I'm just going to leave this pizza right here at the front door. You can't do that. I will leave you a negative review. You can't do that. You better come on down here. You are legally and morally bound by...
Who the fuck are you? You can't do that.
You can't do that.
If you don't bring it to the bottom of the stairs, I'll leave you 1 out of 5 stairs on Yelp. Everything is stairs.
Who's this other guy showing up? And it's just the Abysmii doing the fucking... Who the fuck are you, guy?
Who the fuck are you?
He comes up behind the guy who's standing at the door. He's just off the street, starts yelling at him. Get in that door. Who the fuck are you?
You got no stairs.
I walked John Lennon down those stairs.
I walked him up the stairs and then back down. Who the fuck are you?
Oh no, that kid's falling through the net. Oh man, he ate shit.
I love that. He's still falling to this day, I'm sure.
He's just in that playpen and he just goes all the way down like a Chuck E. Cheese or some shit.
God damn it.
Look, Zoomers don't know, like, back in the day, kids' play places fucking voids to nothing.
I like how everybody was like, at that, what was it, TwitchCon, where the person jumped and broke their back, and everybody was like, how could they possibly have been so, had such disregard? And it's like, hey, welcome to the fucking 80s, dude.
Welcome to kids' play places. Shit was real.
Welcome to jumping into a ball pit and landing in vomit. Yo, hey, welcome.
Vomit, poop, and every other bodily fluid.
Yeah, what would you prefer? Like, I'm not a medical expert, but like a slip disc, like it's pretty serious shit. Would you rather eat shit that way or dive into a thing of puke? Really cheesy puke.
Yeah, you can take a shower, man.
You can wash off the puke. You cannot wash off a lifetime of crippling back pain.
You can't wash off that fucking embarrassment either.
Yeah.
Can you wash off the trauma of falling in puke? At least
I have.
For sure. Everybody
asking for a friend.
Everybody's, endured a little puke pain,
I mean, it's sort of as like you have to put like the added thing of it has to be recorded like the person breaking their back. Would you rather be recorded getting a back injury or recorded falling into a bunch of puke? And have that be the video that goes around way after you're dead? Like 80 years from now.
Every time
like,
I hear about
puke girl.
Every time I hear about TwitchCon, it's nothing good. Like, I'm sure people have a fine time there, but like every like bad thing is really bad, and I wonder why people still go to it. It just sounds incredibly dangerous and embarrassing and just bad for you, like overall.
Why would you go to CloutCon?
CloutCon.
CloutCon. Oh, God.
Hey, it's me, the Clout Clown, the most famous clown in all of clowning.
I like the idea of clowns trying to get into con, and they like have to get the little lanyard and pay their money or whatever, and then they have to go through like a metal detector and they like detect the metal and it's like beep beep. It's like, oh shit, and they just pull out a horn and hand it to the guy.
It's just the horn going off in their pocket, beep beep. But I don't know why would TwitchCon have such bad stuff coming out of it? It's just a bunch of narcissistic sociopaths having a bunch of narcissistic sociopaths over. Like
yeah. I remember like there's certain people on Twitch I've watched and people have asked them, are you going to be at TwitchCon? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
I value my
safety, integrity, health.
Yeah, I value my moralistic integrity and my body integrity. I will not be going.
Yeah.
And my sexual integrity. I will not be going.
Those furries, I don't want to be near them.
Yeah. Okay, if a furry had fallen and broken their back.
They jump, land, break their back, the headpiece falls off.
God damn it. Oh, my tailbone.
Twitch furry creator Fuzzle Nuzzle slipped their disc at TwitchCon this afternoon.
Fuzzle nuts.
But not in the way that you like.
Fuzzle Nuzzle.
Fuzzle nuts and nuts on a
Fuzzle Nuzzle. Oh, it turned into Bill Cosby. Fuzzle Nuzzle.
Hey,
man, Albert and the gang gotta go meet Fuzzle Nuzzle.
What? Anyway, fucking
the
whatever.
gang needs Fuzzle Nuzzle. Dun, dun, dun.
Overwatch has released Hero 47, Fuzzle Nuzzle Nuts.
You know what? Like Overwatch, like you got your graphics, you got your champions. Is it Vampire Survivors? I don't think so.
Vampire Survivors, by the way, a good
Fucking
argument for
awesome.
It's a good argument for letting AI design your art because it's just all from Castlevania.
Yep. Wait, no, it's not. It's not from Castlevania. It's totally not from Castlevania.
Of course.
Yeah.
No. Can I point this out though? Like I don't think it's been talked about, and it's an elephant in the room, and I just don't know why it hasn't been discussed. Where is our Israeli hero in Overwatch?
Yeah.
Pretty anti-Semitic.
Pretty anti-Semitic.
That is true.
Are they saying Tracer circumcised?
Maybe. Where did I put? Oh fuck! I had a. God damn it!
Where did I have
an Israeli Overwatch champion in my pocket? Where did I put it?
I can't do an impression of that. I'd be canceled.
Yeah, no, they don't.
You know what's excellent though is Siege does have an Israeli hero, but they also
they've got a gun and body armor. They're totally different from everyone else. Sorry, sorry. No hate on Siege.
No, but that's the thing is like that is literally this character.
Whoops.
Ash is like super just like, I'm no nonsense. Okay, I'm the one that Tom Clancy would actually be proud of because I'm yeah.
Okay, Elias, cut this out.
Oh no.
Preemptively, Elias, cut this out. This is a legitimate question. I'm not trying to be funny. DP.
Okay. Yeah.
The Israeli Jewish character is named Ash.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like legitimately, I'm asking. Like, are you fucking serious?
I'm serious.
How did nobody?
Is that his full name?
Her. But
her,
yes.
Sorry. Her. Is it Ashley?
No.
Oh,
how did that not? How did they not?
Oh boy.
Realize
her first name's Eliza. Ash has nothing to do with her real name.
Wait, so Ash is her call sign?
There's her call sign. Yes.
Oh my god.
That's somehow worse. Oh.
Is this a thing? Is this something people have brought up?
No, it doesn't get brought up a lot. There's like one or two content creators that, yeah.
Can we send an anonymous message to the Anti-Defamation League? Hey,
All right, Elias, bring it back in on Abysmii saying that so everybody wonders what the fuck we just talked about.
Yep.
Anyway, back to the story.
No, but
Holy shit.
Ash is a character that is not only Israeli, is also Pakistani. So they stepped on that landmine as well.
What?
Landmine? DP, Jesus. Fucking Christ. Elias, cut out this entire...
Delete this episode.
Leave it all in. Leave every part of it in. Now again, story before we launch any other missiles over borders. I mean, no, fuck. It's just a turn of phrase, everybody. Ah, shit. I wasn't thinking when I said it.
I think that you take that back, all that stuff about missiles. We want to stop missiles. We want some sort of defense system for stopping them.
I want like a dome,
Some sort of dome.
something strong like iron.
Oh my god.
What's worse though is Ash is an attacker, and it's like, come on. You didn't give her something that blocks people's grenades or something. Come on.
Ooh, God.
Oh boy.
No,
We do have a story.
That went to the Germans for some reason. It is now.
We do have a story that Brandon wrote and is trying to pass off as AI. Trick us.
It is now the last remaining haunted house of its kind in the Los Angeles area. If you go to the internet, it's listed on Google as having weird stories and photos of things going off in the house.
It's just going off. Things
It's
are
a Channel
popping off.
Zero haunted house.
God damn it.
But the horror isn't confined to that place.
Jesus. The horror is not confined to my stomach. Ugh.
Fuck this episode. This is the horror inside Haunted House Asylum. The suspense is almost like a horror film, but
Wow.
not quite. You can also see a sign that warns that it's not legal to take pictures of the inside, but you can't help but take pictures.
I found a haunted house with a weird rule. Don't take pictures.
This is how I know it's an AI story. It is so all over the place of like who it's talking to, what the setting is, what the tense is.
Who the fuck are you?
I took pictures inside Haunted House Asylum.
Damn it. No, okay, so somebody goes in and takes pictures inside the asylum, and that little guy just comes out of like a sliding wall. Like the wall just slides open, and he comes out. It's at his head height, and he goes, "Who the fuck are you to take pictures in here? Have some respect for the decorum of the space." This is the front of Haunted... Is this where I am? This is the front?
Yeah.
This is the front of Haunted House Asylum. Wow, the black things on the ground appear like dust. The truth is that they're ash. The truth is that those are human bones. Oh.
Huh.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, if you're interested in a scary place, this is definitely it. One of the final scenes of Bar Rescue shows the place that inspired the horror of Haunted House Asylum, as well as other places. You can also see that this whole area of the bar was once where a human skeleton hung and drained a man's blood. So the skeleton did it? Wow, look at that, dude. A skeleton hanging from the ceiling. Your blood drains. Oh, shit.
So...
Just pointing down at them.
A pizza guy going down these infinite stairs. Why don't you just come on down and like in the infinite void, and they're on the stairs and there's the infinite void around them, and over to the side, just like on a pedestal, is a skeleton ripping the skin off of a person, all the flesh off of them.
Oh, yeah,
So
let's go.
What the fuck is that over there? It's just like, yeah, I just need you to ignore that and just keep coming on down. Just act like you didn't see that and keep coming on down.
Don't look at the skin-ripping skeleton pedestal.
Don't look at it. Don't be transfixed by the fascinating way that you can deglove a human being. Just ignore that and come on down.
Yeah. Where do you think skeletons come from? Come on.
I had a good time, but I'm very disappointed we didn't actually get a lost episode of Bar Rescue with John Taffer doing crazy shit.
Well,
I kind of
screamed.
I kind of forgot that I wrote the first paragraph, and I was like, man, I'm enjoying this first paragraph. That's really on point. And then I realized, oh, I wrote that.
Yeah. We know what you did. You wrote the entire thing from start to finish in an attempt to gaslight us. We know. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. Just don't do it again, is all I'm saying. I'm going to give you a pass this time.
A bar rescue pass?
Yeah.
Bar pass?
Wait a minute.
Shut it down.
Wait, have you guys ever read that no sleep story Bar Rescue? Of the giant mountain that's also a restaurant inside?
God.
By C.K. Walker.
It got 100,000 upvotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to need a story in the style of C.K. Walker about...
Just commission C.K. Walker.
I'm going to need a story in the style of C.K. Walker about a photo-negative Mickey inside of a supermarket.
Are we reading this other thing, or are we just...
Yeah, let's read it.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. It's pretty long because
we can just read some of it.
This could be like our super episode. You know how podcasts sometimes do a super episode?
No.
Super AI Extravaganza.
Yeah. All right. So this is an
the story of
untitled...
a girl
This is the story of an AI.
You just type in, "This is the story of," and then just let the AI finish it, and it just
This
figures out the
story girl.
Yeah.
This story.
Oh, story girl. Oh, she's so boring. All right, so I went to the coffee shop, and like when I went there, okay, first of all, well, let me start back. I was talking to Cindy on the way to the shop, and we were talking. No.
Oh my god, I so identify with Story Girl. So I went to this coffee shop, and listen, it was a pretty hipster place, but like I don't like hipster coffee because it's kind of like a darker, more earthy roast, and you get it's okay every once in a while. I like to go there to support the people who roast beans badly, but like
Robin,
I try not to
pop my eardrums.
Robin. Oh, I'll talk to you. Let me start over. I'll tell him what I was telling. Yeah, I'll tell you what I was telling him.
I'm Robin.
Elias, just pitch that up a little bit.
Fuck. All right, so this is a story of a girl. I just asked the AI to write I forget exactly how I phrased it, but it was a rundown of episodes for a lost TV series.
I like
Wikipedia.
AI, I need you to write me an episode of Twilight Zone where Rod Serling is tripping over his words constantly and is not well rehearsed and is like a little bit out of sorts. Imagine a world where okay, but like basically, what if like smoking took away your ability to
breathe?
Anyway, let's light one up in the Twilight Zone. Yes.
Have you ever had a dream where you could, if you could, in your dream, you think that you could anything you want?
If you could change your fate, would you?
Anyway.
Imagine, if you will, just a little pill. Oh shit, that rhymed. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Imagine a pill, if you will, that would. Oh, I've run out of rhymes.
Imagine a pill, if you will, and a who with a shoe.
What would you do in the Twilight Zone?
God. Imagine, if you will, the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. You may think that she looks sad in that photograph, but in the Twilight Zone, she just might smile. Rod, are you okay? No.
I think I'm having a stroke.
It's me, Rod Serling. Hello.
She was a boy. He was a girl. I am confusing my gender pronouns. But only in a world of wacky genders in the Twilight Zone.
Wacky racers, wacky genders.
Oh, God. Double. Do something with this. I don't know.
The gender thieves are behind in the race, but what deceptive tools do they have?
Gender whiplash is stealing the race again.
Gender whiplash.
I've changed again. My pronouns are now Caesar.
That's what every fucking Republican gets when someone says, "Hey, I identify as they, them." Whoa! Gender whiplash.
Gender whiplash.
Oh
God.
All right, I think we should try and read these. So what are these? I guess you have to explain what it is in these super episodes.
Imagine, if you will, Slimebeast asking an AI to write a list of episodes for a lost TV series, as opposed to a lost episode for an existing series, in the Twilight Zone. But the Twilight Zone is not really part of it, so...
Yeah. Fair enough. But
before anybody, gets the wrong interpretation
of the facts.
Yeah.
I don't want people to get the wrong interpretation of the facts.
Exactly.
Ooh. Cartoons and Serial, March 14th, 1997. Our intrepid heroine and muscle man battle it out with a new villain who uses cereal and cartoons in his schemes. Meanwhile, as the character...
corporate America.
Meanwhile, as the characters watch a special series of new cartoons, the ultimate villain launches a foul-mouthed tirade against the hero.
So from the beginning, I guess this is a superhero show because we've got our intrepid heroine and Muscle Man. She couldn't think of a name for.
Oh boy.
These kind of feel like episodes of things that you would see on Caledon Local 21.
Oh yeah, that's true.
These are Mr. Bear episodes but he's just acting them out with, puppets.
This is part of the MBCU. Mr. Bear Cinematic Universe? Nobody?
Oh.
Also, it should be noted that we started with season 31, episode 12.
Yeah.
Season 32, episode 13. Family/drama, March 21st, 1997. The focus shifts to kids, teens, Tiger, and Beauty.
Tiger and Beauty.
That's it. Teens, Tiger, and Beauty discover their homeroom teacher has been flirting with Tiger's older brother for months, leaving Tiger conflicted over how to deal with the situation. A nerdy third grader, Sam, wants to be the class hero, but his plans to go woke are ruined when his girlfriend gives him a foot massage that knocks him out cold.
Okay, so I should specify for anybody out there, I had the AI write this, and I was going to record it in a video for my channel, like as a standalone, so I purposefully didn't read it.
Awesome. Oh, boy.
Oh, my lord.
He then wakes up as the next thing, as in the thing from The Thing, prompting a major team-up between Sam's sister, Clarissa, and the rest of the Weird Sisters.
So we have our secondary characters, the Weird Sisters, I guess.
We have a B-plot with an entirely different cast. Holy shit.
Season 30... Wait. Oh, sorry, guys.
Is Clarissa Joan Hart Clarissa in this?
Yes. It's a crossover. Oh my god, she's part of the NBCU?
Yeah, apparently.
Goddamn.
That's something I could see Mr. Bear having, is like a weird obsession with Clarissa from Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah.
He would make fan episodes.
That would be really fucking creepy.
Exactly.
Season 33, episode 14, Fashion/Geek, April 4th, 1997. The hippest member of the Weird Sisters is swamped with fashion magazines, which show her pictures of a host of new, incredibly fashionable fashions. Or of new, incredibly fashionable fashions. Okay.
Oh, boy.
How will she ever decide which ones to wear? At the same time, Sam has been recruited to be a mascot for the Weird Sisters. With so many distractions, Sam is looking for something to focus on and tries to decide what it is that he really wants to do with his life. I want something else.
We do this kind of semi-hippie stupid yeah. Semi-charmless. I want a vampire myself. I'll do this.
A semi-now.
Ooh.
Abysmii, can we please do a project where you make music that is similar to but not infringing on all of these classic tunes, and then we just do that where we're just like
So you mean the YouTube royalty free library? Because that's what it is now.
Oh my lord. Starring April 11th, 1997, hippie machete film bashing girlfriend becomes a huge star after she successfully murders one of her enemy's friends. Meryl,
no.
Okay, so that entire sentence. First of all, we're glossing over the fact we have a new character named Hippie Machete. Which sounds like a Quentin Tarantino character.
Yeah, with the Suicide Squad introduction screen.
Oh yeah,
the hippie machete.
Oh, dude, that actually, that is the most spot on thing you've ever said in your life. Hippie Machete is like an old '60s comic book character that James Gunn would put in the Suicide Squad 2. That's incredibly accurate.
Y'all seen Bullet Train yet?
No, not yet.
It's really good. It does that shit of just like, this is this character.
Ah, I see. This is Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
Hey, how's it going?
Bullet Train, look out.
No, you watch the entire movie, right? And then it's just like, here's this character, that character, the Westerner, the Japanese person. And then like at the very end of it, it's just like the bullet train itself. And the train looks at you. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm a bullet train.
Well, that was a heck of a lot of stuff that just happened, huh?
Inside me, it's crazy.
Ooh.
A little
Boy,
bit of indigestion. Ooh. Shouldn't have ate that ghost pepper. You watch those ghost pepper videos? Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what's happening inside me right now.
Dude, has there ever been a horror movie about a carnivorous subway train? Where people get in it, they can't get out, they get digested, and they get shat out the back as it's going.
I think there's an indie video game akin to that, but not a film, no.
Okay.
I like the idea, like a hyperloop that, like, don't board that.
Yeah.
There's a hyperloop that does hyper poop.
And you just like you go through the train once and you go through its bowels and you see where it shits out all the skeletons after it consumes the meat on your flesh and all of that stuff, and you see it, but it takes you around again. It just doesn't open up, so you have to like break out of it. Yeah.
Double tweet at Elon Musk and say hyper poop and see if you get banned.
I'm a journalist. Hyper poop.
I'm a journalist. Do you want to tell me about Project Hyperpoop?
Just double post up fake information about where Elon Musk is. Just post up Elon Musk is in the Shoney's bathroom right now.
The idea of just making it Elon Musk tracker, but it's just all bullshit. It's fantastic.
Someone's probably done that, and I hope it's just like live.
Somebody get that. Somebody get the little @ symbol. Get at where Elon isn't. The moon.
Loving his wife,
but
damn.
But put isn't in scare quotes. Where Elon Musk is.
Elon Musk isn't in line at the DMV in Hoboken.
At the third floor glory hole in the South D lobby bathroom of a airport in Turkey.
Hello, No Sleep. I used to love getting my dick sucked at the third floor glory hole, but then one day I realized the other side went out into open air. Who was sucking my dick? It just cuts to this pigeon and it shrugs with a little, I don't know. Could have been anybody.
Well,
this story ends up being the most popular thing on No Sleep, so all the narrators read it, and for a thumbnail they use the guy on the Twilight Zone that's like denying that there's a monster on the wing.
Yes.
But he's just at an airport, but it's the same facial expression. He's just like,
oh God.
Who's out there sucking?
I don't know who's sucking my dick. Help!
Oh, fuck. I don't know who's sucking my dick. Help. The Abysmii. In Autobiography, you're just on the cover in like a sweater with a pipe by a fire sitting in a chair, the title in big block letters, I don't know who's sucking my dick. Help.
Put that through a fucking AI prompt.
All right, what is Hippie Machete doing? Fuck's sake. Let's start over.
Brandon has to reread that entire first sentence.
Hippie Machete's film-bashing girlfriend becomes a huge star after she had successfully murders one of her enemies' films.
Great.
Meryl attempts to decipher her behavior, but ends up falling in love with her instead. Her becoming Swedish. While this happens, Machete's ex-wife returns and demands that he comes home.
What is this show?
There are way too many relationships here in this fucking episode.
It's a CW show. It's one of the CW superhero shows. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Season 35. Season 35, episode 16, Nature/Business, April 18th, 1997. Teen Tiger and his little brother feel pressure to attend hip high school parties, but their enthusiasm is stifled when they realize that none of the adults are willing to party with them. High schoolers are not adults. Meanwhile, the weird sister's fairy godmother comes up with a plan to cure the small town police force of their blindness to Hippie Machete.
So the small town police force is blind to all of the crimes of Hippie Machete. Okay.
Will Hippie finally be able to drop out of high school to pursue his career goals?
By the way, he has an ex-wife.
Everyone in this high school is super, super behind. They're all 25, but they just can't graduate.
That's what happens when you have a show that's supposed to be for high schoolers and the kids grow up and they just
Is there an anime called Marriage High School?
Oh, probably.
Where it's just a high school for people that's all marriage themed?
Be surprised if there weren't.
No, but all of this is just like reading this in a row feels like too many cooks. And there's even a machete character.
That's true.
Is the machete character going to start killing people?
Hopefully.
This
is me now, right? Season 36, episode 17, Freedom/Health. All of the episode titles have a slash in them. I don't know why.
Except for the first one.
Yeah.
Had an ampersand. I don't know why.
Once Machete showed up on the show, all of the titles started getting slashed. April 25th, 1997. Teen Tiger and his brother go to jail for breaking into a men's bathroom. But hippie Machete takes a job in the jail. God, this fucker won't stay away. When Meryl and Lily come to the jail to get their friends out, Lily discovers the men's room has been transformed into a women's room. Ah, liberals. But she is What if Republicans, what if that was the whole thing, is like, okay, if trans people want to use the opposite bathroom, we'll just change the bathrooms. Now,
checkmate, liberals.
Now we're going to put tampons in the men's room, and like nobody gets offended.
Yeah.
Lily discovers the men's room has been transformed into a women's room, but she is unable to convince the guards to allow her in to find the men. Meanwhile, Teen Tiger tries to convince his brother that it's okay to rebel, but his brother is still under the sway of his newfound freedom, whatever that means. God.
What are you doing in the bathroom? I have newfound freedom, mother.
Voice suddenly deep. Voice I have newfound freedom. I've discovered the path, mother.
He sticks his dick out the
fucking
window.
Bordis.
He sticks his dick out the window.
Third story, yeah.
Oh.
Mother, have you ever stuck your dick out a window?
Mother, if you stick your dick into a glory hole that goes to the outside, you will know true freedom.
Damn it.
You're right. It is Bordis. Oh my god. Security technology, May 2nd, 1997. The teens face a variety of strange but thrilling new security threats in their high school.
Wow, this shooting is strange yet thrilling. No.
Oh no.
Strange and thrilling here for a mass shooting. Everybody get down. We're shooting now. Bang, 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 and all that.
The Loose News crew. Everybody get down. Everybody get down. Everybody get down. There's a shooter in the room. Everybody get down.
Everybody get down. Oh my god. I love that, like, Loose News crew is just literally butt out from what's it called? South Park. Butt out. Yeah. Meanwhile, their weird sisters battle to keep fairy godmother's immortality secret from their patrons.
Wait, they're on Patreon?
Oh no. Season 38, episode 19, Commerce/Sadness. May 9th, 1997. Fairy Godmother's best friend is brutally murdered by an angry businessman after she refuses to leave him alone. Okay. Tiger and Lily investigate and are warned against bringing any attention to their investigation. After the girls are attacked by a mugger, they use a new video game to outsmart the thief.
Here, have Minecraft. What? Oh,
what? Oh, cool. Okay. Look at this.
Was it Tiger and Lily in the beginning?
No.
Okay, so the AI eventually got to Tiger Lily.
Yeah.
Meow. Yeah, this is me putting, I have some treats right next to me for this cat for when it won't shut up. So I'm putting it down, and I'm walking back over here. This is all very entertaining. And I say that because it's my part to read. Okay. Season 39, episode 20, Etiquette/Crime, May 16th, 1997. Isn't that like Etiquette/Crime? Is that like how you would describe the genre of like the Ocean's 11 movies?
Sure.
They're all in business suits, very gentlemanly, but they're committing crimes. In a move to boost sales of the Weird Sisters' fairy godmother's potion, the girls help a spoiled California teen to get arrested.
What?
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Lily must now convince her client's parents, I guess she's a lawyer, that she didn't encourage his hedonism. Meanwhile, the Weird Sisters use their magic to help Tiger's mother win her case against her ex-husband.
Uh-huh.
Why is this part... This is like part...
Better
part
Call Lily.
Better Call Lily, yeah. This is part CW superhero TV show, part like Charmed, like magic, and part Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
When are you going to show up?
Maybe. Yeah. I'm Hippie Machete.
You are Hippie Machete, huh?
Absolutely.
Conspiracy fashion. May 23rd, 1997. Tiger and Lily discover that Clarissa's parents have been cheating on each other for years, and their mothers continually getting more and more attached to other men.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, Tiger's grandmother gets angry that his mom and stepdad have begun to get along, so she plots to get the fairy godmother to make Lily and Tiger fight.
What the fuck?
Tiger's mother needs to make an important announcement at the school, but she has trouble coming up with the words.
All right, so things are getting more mundane as we go here.
Yeah, it's starting to unravel.
It's starting to unravel.
Oh wait, maybe this is like we're leading into World War II. Why don't you go ahead, Abysmii?
Season 41, Episode 22, Allies Disasters, May 30th, 1997. The Weird Sisters work together to put a stop to an agent of the Canadian government who is trying to ruin the Weird Sisters' reputation by spreading a fake story about them.
Hey,
Meanwhile,
they're not sorry.
I'm not sorry, Meanwhile, Machete fights a bad guy at the mall, and a gang member named Fred is released from prison and begins to rejoin the gangs that he escaped from, and the Weird Sisters are asked by some new kids to help them pay for their new video games.
Okay.
There's a weird, buy video games subtext to all these episodes.
I guess that's probably from, young adult shows and shit, right? They love gaming and they love Mountain Dew.
That's why I think you should play Clash of Clans.
Yeah. That's why I think you should play Game and Shame. Isn't that just any competitive game, I guess? Season 42, Episode 23, Friendship/Parental Units. June 6th, 1997. Okay, now the AI shows its hand that it's not human. Parental units.
Yeah.
One of the teens becomes...
No, that's what Chelsea calls her parents.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
She's a robot.
Oh, Brandon, I'm so sorry.
The Chelsea 5000. The Chelsea 5000.7. One of the teens becomes so infatuated with the Weird Sisters that she enlists her best friend to pose as one of them at a school party. But her new family members want to know how she met the Weird Sisters. How did you meet these girls? You're just friends, right? Sorry?
I walked the Weird Sisters up at Bonnaroo. Who the fuck are you?
That sounds accurate. Playing at Bonnaroo, the Weird Sisters. Meanwhile, Machete turns his mother into a hippie witch for his neighbor's big birthday party. Then Lily discovers that her friends are not the only teens with fairy godmothers living with them. This is from it's probably pulling from Fairly Odd Parents and Nickelodeon shit, right?
Oh yeah, no. There's so much this could pull from.
Anyway, we're close to the end, sort of.
Fashion drama, rah baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Work that shit, bitch, crazy. The Weird Sisters.
Ah, yes, the famous Lady Gaga song, Fashion Drama, Rah, Baby.
Was that written by an AI?
Probably.
Lady Gaga's upcoming album, Rah, Fashion Baby.
It does kind of sound like, what's that Japanese metal band?
Baby Metal?
Baby Metal, yeah. That sounds like something they would make.
I absolutely love Baby Metal.
They're pretty cool.
The Weird Sisters plan to bring back rock and roll to the fashion-obsessed high school, but instead of the PTA sends Lily's mother's...
But the head of the PTA, yeah.
Yeah, the head of the PTA, which I said, sends Lily's mother to the police with the counterfeit hippie machete. The Weird Sisters all fall in love for ice cream with the same girl, though one of the girls comes to the conclusion that maybe they are better off as best friends.
One of the girls, it's the girl they fall in love with. It's I think we're... No?
No. The preview, please get away from me.
I want to ruin our friendship. We should be lovers instead.
That sounds like a Lady Gaga lyric. I'm gonna ruin our friendship. We'll lovers instead.
It's literally
Lady Gaga.
It's literally a lyric from fucking... I love you doing Studio Killers as Lady Gaga.
It's Lady Gaga here. How you doing? What is up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Lady Gaga.
Look at me, I'm Lady Gaga. I've been wearing some stuff.
Oh, okay. So
Are my clothes crazy and stuff?
we actually do have to get to the end of this because there's a development. I'm not going to say it, but it happens. Not in this one, but the next one. Okay. Season 44, episode 25, Media/Drama, June 20th, 1997. The Weird Sisters meet a girl who claims to be in the headlines. So they look into her background only to discover that she is actually a self-centered reality show star. Okay, that's just accurate. Tiger attempts to get her mother to act normal so she won't turn into a media addict like her mother. Like her mother's mother?
I guess.
Okay.
The grandmother. It's weird because there's half interesting stuff and half like mundane shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I guess that's television. Season 45, episode 26. Parental units / etiquette / special skills / vampires. June 27th, 1997.
That's a terrible resume.
Sweet.
Yeah. Machete finds a new girlfriend who is a vampire, but Lily has to convince him that she is not in love with him because he is still dating Felicia. Fucking who?
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. I'm dating a vampire.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tiger's mother wants to reconnect with her former lover and new best friend, both of whom have recently been released from jail. Everybody's released from jail. But the girls are reluctant to rekindle their romance. Okay. Hippie Machete, I don't know. I had high hopes for him, but he's not doing much.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you build a set for a jailhouse, and they're like, well, we built the jailhouse and had the prison guard, so we have to have a lot of scenes in there.
God damn it. This is what happens when you build a jail. You have to put people in it. Yeah, true. It's true.
I like the idea of the constraints of AI is built by the constraints of practical writing. It's just like, yeah, I guess we have to include this jail cell a lot, even though we didn't initially intend to. We went over budget on that.
God damn it.
The production company is going to get mad if we don't utilize it, so the AI needs to write a lot more things that happen in the jail.
Plus, there's no budget for any other sets now that you built the jail, so what are you going to do?
See, what we really should have done is had an AI-generated setting instead of building a practical jail.
What's going to happen when you have AI-generated virtual reality environments?
Yeah, that's the brave new world. You're getting hooked into it, and then
Anyway,
then
you just go down
new...
infinite stairs while a voice says, "Come on down,
come on down,
come on down,
come on down,
come on down, never stop coming down."
Huh? All right,
should we end there, or should we finish this?
We've only got 20 more lines. I mean,
nah, I think we're good.
Are there any good ones? Abysmii, you've read ahead. Are there any good ones?
I haven't read that far ahead. Nah, whatever. Fuck it.
It's
I gotta feed my cat too. She's gonna start tearing shit up. So
Why do you got cats?
Why would you
do you
name your
got
cat
cats?
Cat 2? That's rude.
because Cat 1 was an abject failure.
Oh god. Cat 1 exploded. I tried 3D printing a cat. Didn't work out.
I tried 3D printing a cat. Here's what happened next.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Hello, kids, and welcome to Mr. Bear's house. Today, Mr. Bear is hiding from some angry, busy, bees. That's what I call nosy parents. So, I'll keep activities nice and quiet and just answer some mail from you fine, fun kids. I'd love it when you send me mail. Gimpy wants to know, do the other CP mascots give you... Uh-oh, that's a no-no word. Do other CP mascots give you trouble because you aren't cool anymore? Well, I don't know what CP is, or why you think an actual bear is a mascot. But I'm definitely cool. In fact, most of the children I bring out to the woods think I'm way cooler and hip than their parents. Seems that we have a letter from YOLO Swaggerbra. Do you think that any larger budget / mainstream, oh boy, or even More prestige horror will take lessons or incorporate elements or even successfully adapt creepypasta, or do you think, oh boy, it will be relegated to internet fiction that goes viral? I think those are wired words, and I don't use that except for blogspot.com. I think the barrage of worldliness brought on by the Wired is a problem that can be alleviated by taking children off the grid and back into the humble arms of nature. That's where the real warmth is. Dirty Dan Richards writes, Mr. Bear, what is your favorite passage from the Book of Mormon? This is an excellent question, Dan. I'm a non-denominational Christian bear because most churches have strict beliefs that I can't adhere to. The only true place I can hear his words are in the woods and next to a fire. But if I had to pick out a Mormon text, which I do respect in its own way, it would have to be Nephi 4:11. Double wants to know, can I live in your basement? This dungeon is too cold. Sounds like someone that needs to be liberated. Well, I think Nephi 4:11 might have something to say about that. Finally, Superfan Lori asks, with the increased gas prices, do you have a backup method that will work and be cost-effective? This is a silly question. I'm a bear. I don't pay for gas. It's like asking a cat to pay for mice, or a European to pay for health insurance. These are things that are owed due to my duty. Well, I should probably end this broadcast and find a new basement. Mr. Bear's house isn't a singular place. It's wherever I roam. And the parents of Brampton think I am no longer welcome here. I'll see you in the next city or town. Remember, your dreams are temporary, but they could be permanent if you meet Mr. Bear.